Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome to the edition of Springhill Valley. Alright, we got a couple things going on today. If you recall from the last episode, I went ahead and cut this hay down here, and I have tedded it now. And I'm just finishing up doing a little bit of raking here, as you can see. Got maybe one or two passes left, so let's go ahead and fire up this John Deere here. And looks like our rake is doing alright. I don't know if it's actually down or not. Yes, I do need to lower it first. Turn it on as well. Excellent. Good. Let's get this rolling here. So we're just going to finish up raking this last little bit here, and then we will bale a little bit. Oh, this is... what am I doing? I need to do another pass there, apparently. It wasn't put in the right position. It's funny, apparently you can put it like just straight in line, but that's not very helpful, obviously. But what we want is not just in a straight line. I don't know why I decided to do that. Probably because I guess I ended the game last time and then it was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to straighten it out again. So I guess that's what happened there. Oh well. Not a big deal. I can't really do this in cab very well. I don't know how they would actually do it in real life. Real life. Wow. There we go. Let's take a low turn here. As you can see, I kind of got a little close to the edge there. A little bit too close, in fact, but anyways. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and finish up raking this little bit of hay here. And then we will bale it, as I was saying. And I got the Massey Ferguson over there. He's doing it. He's cultivating over there. The Ford cultivator that we had was just a wee bit too big for this map, I discovered. I couldn't get it through many of the passes, many of the entranceways or exits, so I changed it out for a different cultivator. It's actually the cultivator from the seeder we had in the last season, actually, so... we currently have that. Let me just show it to you. It's that one right there. Here we go. The cool thing with this is you can actually turn it, I think you can turn it to either side. You should be able to at least. Change windrow position. I thought you could change it to the other side. Oh, there it goes. Nope. It's not the position I wanted in. I guess that would work. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but it'll do the job. So, let's make sure we have this in the right spot. I guess it doesn't matter in this scenario. Well, this might be a bit better for me. Didn't know you could do this, but this is just a different way of doing it, I suppose. Doesn't look like it's right. Huh. I don't know if it's actually going in the right spot or not now. No, it's not. Didn't think so. This is the one thing I'm not a big fan of this particular rake, just because the way it works, it's, I think I actually have to fold it up for it to work the way I want it to right now. Because what I was doing there, it was just putting it into two separate piles or two separate windrows. It's just not what I wanted it to do at all, but that's what it was doing originally. That's why I was trying to just figure out what exactly it was trying to do and then fix it. What I could just do is this, I suppose, and just go this way. That might be another easier route. There we go, perfect. Now, the other weird thing about this particular rake is that it doesn't really work very well with course plates because the way it's positioned, which is fine. Just means I have to do it manually. It's not really a big deal. The fields aren't huge anyways, so I really don't mind that much doing stuff manually on this map. And I just raked the same stuff I just raked. Ha! Oh well. That's part of the, I don't know why you'd actually... Could you imagine do that in real life and be like, yep, I just went over the same thing once again. Ugh. Facepalm. Anyhow, let's get this done. We got like, what, one pass left? There we go. Perfect. And we probably should do one more pass now that I'm looking at it. Alright, sweet. Anyways, so that's one of the things we got going on. We need to do a little bit of baling because we are running a little bit low on the dry grass, which is a bit unfortunate because we do need our cows in order to be able to produce effectively. Stop, fold. There we go. Perfect. We do need to be able to have our cows produce as effectively as possible, and for that to be a possibility, left. I had to think about, okay, which way is the right way to go here? Even now, I'm not sure. Yes, that's right. Good. Whew. You would have thought I would figure this out, but nope. Still haven't figured it out. And I think this is the long way around. Oh yeah, definitely the long way around. Okay, well, it's a scenic route. We do need to get our fields seeded as well. And we do have... I discovered you can unload the seeder from last episode, if you recall. Although I'm not sure what happens if you get a money rebate or what the deal is. Something happens, I'm just not sure what that exactly is. So we're going to go ahead and test that out right now. Because I'm kind of curious myself. I'm wondering whether or not we get a money rebate. The reason why I didn't do it last time was because we didn't have... I didn't want to lose the money, but this time I'm not as worried about it. Let's get up there. Okay, well. Right shift and J. Alright, so we're at 60,000? No, you don't get any money back. That is not cool. So I'll have to remember that for next time. I don't need that much seed. Maybe it goes into... I should check that, actually. Does it go into... No. It doesn't go into our silos either. I thought maybe it might, but as you just saw, definitely does not. So, it's unfortunate. So basically when you empty it, you just lose it. You don't gain it at all. You just, poof, gone. Anyhow, one thing I did notice about this particular rake setup there, or the tedder setup I have, is that it doesn't work very well with hills. I don't know why, but that thing and hills definitely do not get along very well. Because what happens is... Turn this guy off. Oof, I don't know why, but that tractor seems so much louder than I remember it being. Anyhow, the hills do not go very well with it for whatever reason. I'm not sure of the exact reason why. And I think there's a weight that can go on the front of this. It looks like it can hold a weight. I want to say it can. The reason why I'm looking at this right now is because... Maybe it's in weights, Iain? Allo... JCB... Port Mass JD. I think that's French. Looks like it. This is actually one from OEB modding. It's not actually 800 kilograms. It's not more realistic. But it's pretty just a darn cool weight. Yeah, I thought you could... Maybe you can put weight on the front. Nope. The reason why I'm just thinking about this right now is because the only tractor that actually can effectively use our current seeder, this one does use it, just not very well, because for whatever reason the front end of this, even though it has a weight on the front, it's not as... doesn't stick to the ground very much, and I don't know if this one will or not. So I'm just going to give it a go and see what happens here. It's 145 horsepower, so it should be enough, I think. Let's detach this front part here, and let's put the... There we go. Take the front weights off, or take the front part off. Now, can I put weights on here? It looks like you can. Maybe I can with a number. I just... No. Let's just try. Nope. Apparently not. Oh well. It definitely looks like you can put a weight on there for whatever reason. Anyhow, let's go ahead and hook this up, and let's just see if it works or not. I don't know if it will, but if it doesn't, we can always switch to different tractors. It's not a big deal. But this tractor does seem... I don't know why, but it seems so huge on this map, which makes me a bit sad, actually. Come on. There we go. And I need to lower the implement and then attach the seeding unit. There we go. And now I need to fill it with seed. Alright. Don't want to put it into work mode, I just want to fill it with seed. So maybe I have to... Nope, this one does the same thing. Ah, that's annoying. Our tractors just aren't heavy enough for this thing, which is a bit strange actually. This thing, the front of this definitely came off there. I can't put a front weight on there, which is really annoying actually. It looks like it definitely can hold one. And I suppose, I guess I could try it with this weight over here. It looks like it can, but no. Alright, so I guess the Massey's really the only one that can do it effectively, or the other Massey Ferguson. You would think this one would be fine. Definitely not. I don't know the reason behind that actually either. It's just the way, I think it's just the way the mod's made, because that tractor in real life, I would think, this one also, even it has a front weight on there, so you would think it'd be more than enough to hold the weight, the tractor on the ground, but apparently it's not, which is slightly frustrating. Alright, let's just take a quick look at what tractors we have available to us, because maybe there's one out there that might be a bit better. The only reason I don't want to use the Massey is just because it is articulated, and that's why I'm not very excited to use that. It does work fine, mind you, but yeah, let's just do that. Let's just use this guy. I don't know why. This tractor's actually has less horsepower than the other Massey we were just using, but the difference is the mod is created differently. So because it's created differently and weighted differently, it has no problem with the seeder. But for whatever reason, every other tractor I've tried so far does have a problem with it. But the Massey doesn't, so I guess we'll have to use the Massey. Not really that big of a problem, but just one of the oddities of that particular seeder, I guess. Like I said, maybe it's made for more realistic. It does appear to have more realistic tendencies, but I guess I really didn't need to. Is this too heavy for this too? Alright, looks like it's fine. I don't really need to do this. Just gonna let that guy chill out there. This guy's not in a group. No, he's not. Let's put it in a Massey group. There we go. And I guess we'll use seeder with this guy. And it's going to make it a little bit more interesting because he is articulated. It's too bad it doesn't have indoor sound. Maybe I could probably mod it. Although apparently it is a really loud tractor in real life, so according to what TCGG Rob was saying, it's a really loud tractor in real life, so. Alright, let's pick this guy up here. And at least it matches in this scenario. Well, our horse seeder with a red tractor as well. Let's bring this information back up here. Already it starts. Alright, so I have to be careful because I have to select which seed first. So, do we want wheat? Let's just check. So this is the funny thing about this seeder. If I don't check to see like prices right now, and I can't switch it once I've seeded it. Corn, potatoes. We don't have the ability to actually harvest corn. Let's do barley. Barley's really worth that much here? Oh, okay. That's fine. Next seed type, barley. And I'm only going to refill, like, I don't know, let's say 100 liters. Or that much. And the only reason I want to do it that way is because if I don't need that much, which is possible, I will not have wasted my money. Because when I... Actually, you know what you probably can do with this? You probably can fill it from the actual silos itself. The problem with that is the fact that the silos are far, far away. I am going to do this. Because I don't want to fiddle with the end there. Alright, let's get seeding. Let's put it into work mode. Barley. Watch watch the amount of barley I use is like quadruple the amount of canola. It would make sense, in all honesty. Oops, I want this, I want this, I want that. And I don't want it to be offset at all. Apparently someone skimmed their tires outside. Sheesh. Alright, lower. And so this is air funny, check that out. Takes a little bit of time to get started there. And we gotta turn that fan on. Oh, there we go. See that? Traction issues. So it makes me think that it's a more realistic, for whatever reason. There we go. So it doesn't work very well with any other tractor so far. So I bet if I were to grab any of the other Euro DZN tractors, I'm guessing, just a guess, it'd be fine. But with this particular, well, with the other ones I've been using, I would probably have a problem. I don't know. Just seems to be the case. Also, this particular seeder, although it is really cool, it doesn't like turns very much. So I definitely have left some spots there. I don't really need to cultivate now, but I can't really not cultivate. Drive on mark? What the heck is that? K, drive mark on. What would that be? I wonder what the drive on would be. Drive on, that must be something like, I don't know what that's. I honestly don't know. Let me line it up again, then I'll figure out what it is. Alright, so turning around with this thing's a bit of a pain. Alright, lower down here. What is the drive on? Oops. Okay. What is it doing? Why does it leave marks there? I don't know why it wants to do that. That's the drive on thing? What the heck is that? Why would you even want to do that? I don't understand. Like, seriously, like, if you're using this, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going for there. The tracer, yeah, makes sense there. Makes perfect sense, but the drive on thing, not sure what the heck's that going for. Maybe it's meant to be more realistic in the sense that you leave marks where you've gone. I don't know. Alright, trace right. What would that be? Oh, that's kind of cool. So that's if you want to do it that way, if you want to use the tracers. That's kind of cool. I'm using the GPS mod. We've retrofitted our Massey Ferguson in order to be able to use this. That's what we've done in this case. So because we've retrofitted it, that's why we have the GPS mod. Yep, that's what I'm going for. Although there's no screen here. That would be a nice little feature of this, actually, if they were to add like a GPS panel somewhere. But I guess it wouldn't really work very well because you'd have to add it for each individual mod, I suppose. Which would make it a little bit more difficult, I should say. Much more difficult than it really needs to be, but ah well. I totally turned off my sound again. This tractor is just really loud. And I don't, for whatever reason, whenever I turn the sound on a tractor and a tractor's loud, I feel like I need to yell over it. Not literally yell, but it just seems that way to me when I'm talking, so. Alright, let's raise it up. There we go. Take a little turn here. I guess the articulated tractor is not necessarily bad, but it definitely makes our life a bit more interesting. There we go. Perfect. Nice. So this is the one downfall of this. I have to just manually, which isn't too bad, but this is a bit of a smaller seeder. How many meters is it? I'm not even sure. 7 meters, I think? Let's just check real quick. 6 meters, apparently. It's not terrible, I guess. I don't really have too many options that are a bit any bigger than this yet. I suppose I'm trying to keep this farm somewhat small, but this is a pretty big map, and in reality, it's not really that small of a map, so I probably will need to get bigger equipment at some point. And the seeder seems like something I'd want to upgrade sooner rather than later. But we don't have too many options that are... Like 6 meters is a good width. And technically this tractor probably shouldn't be able to use it, because this is a... Oh, this has plow spec on it. Oops, no, go back down. Yeah, definitely has plow spec. Anyways. I was trying to hit C, not V there. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good seeder. I like it. There are some little things that are kind of silly about it. Like the plow... Whoa, that's close. I like how the weight of it. It's a nice aspect. The only problem is because other vehicles aren't weighted accordingly, it does make using it slightly more difficult. So for example, when I was using the John Deere, it had problems actually using this. In reality, it probably shouldn't, but it definitely does in the game. It's gonna get up. Gonna do a little strip at the end here so I don't have to go all the way into the grass every single time. Yeah, the John Deere probably shouldn't have problems with this, but it definitely does, as you discovered, as I showed you last episode. But it does, I don't know. It seems odd that that would be the case. And this is the other problem I discovered with it. You can cultivate, because it's a cultivator and a seeder separately. You can actually go over and cultivate / seed the same thing you've already seeded, which is a bit wasteful. But if you were doing this in real life, that's something you definitely have to be careful about, not seeding over the same thing, which is why you tend to have GPS nowadays and whatnot, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to avoid that. You're trying to maximize the amount of money you actually can make because you are not wasting any. Same thing goes for fertilizer and whatnot too. Like I was being pretty wasteful last time around with that fertilizer. And I'll have to adjust it because it's on the back of the implement. I could probably just put it for one headland first and then go from there. Anyhow, our cows appear to be good to go, which is excellent. I was reading the Farmer's Forum today, and it was an interesting article actually in it. And one of the interesting facts was talking about farmers who were trying to get off the grid in Ontario specifically. And the reason why they're trying to get off the grid is because they're experiencing spikes in hydro. Like basically would go from 2%, no, let's say a 1% increase to like a 30% increase in the space of a month, which is a bit ridiculous if you ask me. And because they're experiencing this, they're like, well, why am I even giving money to Hydro One as the company in this case? And they're like, well, why am I even giving them money if they're fluctuating their prices so drastically? So some farmers in the article I was reading, some farmers were saying, hey, maybe I should get off the grid and do something, use the resources I have in order to get off the grid. And one of the suggestions in the article was using biodigesters in order to stay off the grid, which is an interesting point. It's not going to work for everybody because not everybody has the capability of using a biodigester or that type of electricity source, I guess it would be. And that was one thing that they suggested, and the other thing they suggested was potentially using something like natural gas was the other possibility they were suggesting, which, you know, that one makes a bit of sense. But in reality, it's kind of like, well, it seems a bit silly that they would have to get off the grid in order to maximize, you know, income, because what was happening is some farmers actually quit dairy farming specifically because they just the margins were becoming too small because of electricity bills, which is crazy when you think about it. I couldn't imagine, like, think about it this way, it'd be like your business relying solely on whether you had enough electricity or not. And if you didn't get enough electricity, or if you're paying too much for electricity and you're using too much electricity, then your business might go out of business, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. This is going to be interesting. I have to time this just right. Yeah. Apparently I'm going to miss a little bit. If I don't drive straight through the end there, I'm going to miss a big chunk like I did there. That is annoying. Yeah. It's kind of hard to get around that because as soon as I stop cultivate, or as soon as I lift it, I'm going to leave a spot. Yeah, that's annoying. Have to time it correctly with this seeder. if you don't time it correctly, you'll definitely miss some. Ah, well. Yeah, so that was one of the interesting things I was reading in that article this morning, and I was like, wow, that's kind of scary when you think farmers are, deciding whether to stay in business or to change businesses based on whether they're going to, how much hydro they're going to pay. It's just crazy. And it very because it's an Ontario paper. It's focused on Ontario specifically, but to think about, I don't know what it's like in other provinces in Canada, but in Ontario, it has been an ongoing thing in terms of electricity here, at least. So, anyhow, I'm going to stop this guy for a quick sec here and hop over to this guy because we actually don't need him to cultivate anymore. This is the cultivator. This is from the last combination cedar cultivator we had. So I just picked up the cultivator itself. But we don't really need to do that. It was just to try and get any of the spots I may have missed. But right now it's just a waste of fuel, and we don't have a crazy amount of money, so I might as well change it up here. All right. There we go. And I'm gonna get this guy to fertilize the other field over there, and I'll have to change up the seeding, the actual course itself, because what was happening was it was just wasting a lot. And like I said, don't have a crazy amount of money, so I don't want to waste too much. All right, here, let's just do this. Refill, perfect, excellent. It's strange. I'm now, so by the time this goes live, I have no idea how far in advance I'll be. But at this time, I'm pretty far in advance for both series, about maybe a week or 2 weeks or something like that almost. And I already know what. So by the time this goes live, I don't know when this is going to go live. I have to think about this now. What is this? Field 14? Seeding. 17. Sorry. It is an 18 meters, so let's do it 17.5. Northwest, heading east, do one headland, generate course. There we go. Anyways, lost my train of thought there for a second. Let's just set this guy up before I have to continue thinking. First waypoint. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. He should be good now. And I had him set to do one headland because he'll probably be more efficient with just the one instead of doing two. Anyhow, let's hop over back to the Massey and continue on here. Yeah, I lost what I was talking about now. And that's what happens, apparently. You drop implements. Alright, let's lower that down. Do I have to turn the fan back on, I suppose? Nope, it's good. Excellent. Yep, totally lost what I was talking about. Anyways, maybe it was about Hydra still, I can't remember. Yeah, so different provinces, not sure what the situation is there, but Ontario, for dairy farmers and like any kind of farmer who uses a lot of electricity for animals, that's where it's kind of becoming a situation where it's like, do I really want to keep doing this? And there was one particular farmer they focused in on, and his family was a dairy farm operation, and he actually stopped doing it because none of his sons showed a lot of interest in the dairy operation, so that's one of the reasons why he decided to, wow, you can really do like this? That's interesting. None of his sons actually showed interest in getting into the dairy business, so yes, I know you wouldn't normally go through bushes, but, and that tree is going to act as a huge hook. Let's try and avoid that. Perfect. Yeah. This cedar, the other problem I have with this cedar specifically is just a bit long. For some of the turns, I discovered it's just a wee bit too long. So in order to be like effective, in order to actually turn, not necessarily in the field's not a big problem, but getting to the field, that's where the problem lies, essentially. So anyhow, our cows are doing well, which is good. And as you recall, I installed the Real Cow mod, or Real Select Cow mod. So as you can see, the amount of milk, the manure, and liquid manure we have is actually pretty low, even though we have had the cows for a while now. now that I think about it. And I realize we don't have that many other seeder options on this map, unless I get a different, I don't know, I'll have to look into it. But for now, I'm going to stick with this one. I might get a different tractor to use it with, just because this articulated one's not my favorite for you, just with it for whatever reason. It does look really good though. Look at that. Nice. Gorgeous. Anyways, I'm going to stop this guy so it doesn't go anywhere. I am going to stop the episode there for now, folks. And let's get a nice little view of the horse. Actually, random thought. I was reading the Farmer's Forum again today, and there was actually an advertisement for Horsch, this company right here. For those people who have no idea what I'm talking about, that company right there. Is it that one? Maybe it was something else. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's in here. No, maybe it's that one. Maybe it was Horst with a T. I can't remember. Anyways, we could get this one actually. 8 meters. That doesn't cultivate though. This one definitely does. It's 9 meters. It's a tow behind as well. But you need like quite a hefty tractor for that. Anyways, so I saw an advertisement for this, and it was in North America, so it's definitely happening more often that we get European companies coming to Canada, and United States for that matter. Anyhow, that's my little side rant for now. And let's get a little picture of the stream here. Anyways, my name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013, coming at you from Springhill Valley. Or I should say, Springhill Valley. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Have a fantastic day.